Hi, it's Jennifer Rea here from STV, and I have had the privilege in the past to film with the amazing Team Jack family. I've filmed with Alison, I've filmed with Amy, and the work they do is absolutely incredible. And you're about to see exactly what they do in this short film. Team Jack, providing practical, social and emotional support to sick children and young people aged up to 25, their families, friends and to those bereaved.
Jack was amazing. He was a typical wee boy. From the minute he could walk, he preferred outdoors to indoors. He loved playing out the back garden in his tractors and trikes and kicking a football about. He had an obsession with footballs and football boots. He loved playing his tuba in the school band. He played in goals for Mid-Calder Colts and for the school's county football team. And the year before he died, he got the Players' Player and Parents' Player of the Year awards, which was really special to him. He just loved being with family and friends. He had the same group of friends throughout his life, which I think is a testament to him. And I think just the more in amongst people and in amongst what was going on that Jack was, the happier he was. In the last 3 or 4 years of his life, I would say he changed and became really, not that he wasn't before, but he really became considerate of others and really thought carefully about other people and put them before himself, and was turning into this most amazing young man with a bright future ahead of him.
Jack Truman was just 15 years old when he was given a terminal diagnosis of T-cell lymphoma. As devastating as this was, Jack's first thought was for the effect his illness had on those closest to him. Jack was determined to make the journey easier for other sick kids like him and for their families.
Based on what had happened to Jack in the hospital, he felt that whilst the medical care was outstanding, that there was a lack of emotional and social support available for children going through the journey and for their siblings and families and friends. And he felt that he wanted to provide a hub that people could go to, but also that he could provide support to the hospitals and to people at home, because he himself wouldn't have got to Jack's Den. He wasn't well enough, but he still wanted to make sure that that support was there for families and friends. He felt he saw the need for one-to-one support through counselling and therapies and just bringing families together.
The Team Jack Foundation now supports over 90 families from the Shetland Isles to Selkirk. They provide everything from Jack Sack goodie bags to counselling and themed fun days. Team Jack do this from Jack's Den in Livingston, via satellite pop-up dens in Aberdeen or Glenrothes, and directly in the cancer ward at children's hospitals around Scotland. The musical therapy sessions are particularly popular with little warrior Laurel Allen.
Play together, let's play together.
She lost her sight after tumours developed behind her eyes, but this brave little girl hasn't lost her lust for life, and today she's having a ball learning circus skills at Jack's Den.
We was throwing balls, we was catching the balls in that hand, and we put it under our chin, and that bit, and that bit, and that bit. But then we tried and balloon foot on my head, and roll it that way, and then that way, and then the other way.
For Mum Laura, the activities at Jack's Den have helped to brighten up what have been sometimes dark days for her family.
We were in a completely different boat when Laurel first got diagnosed, and no one thinks of all the financial side of it. I mean, we lost our house and everything when Laurel first got diagnosed, so to have memories and be able to go out and do things became quite hard to do because Mike lost his job. So now that we have this service, we can still do things.
The Gray family from Kirkcaldy are Jack's Den regulars and have also been using the Glenrothes pop-up den during daughter Amelia's treatment.
Being able to go somewhere where people understand what you've been through, because unfortunately even your closest friends don't understand, you know, your worries and all the things that go along with it. So your kids can be playing and you can be chatting to people that just get it. So it makes a big difference that you've got a support network of people that understand, and you can, if there's anything on your mind, you can mention it to them and they may have suggestions or, you know, have come across it with their children, or, you know, Alison may be able to point us in the right direction of where to go. So it makes a big difference just having that sort of support of people that know what's going on.
Little warrior Amelia is a wee bit camera shy, but big sister Riam was happy to tell us why it's been good to meet other young people who understand what our family have been going through.
If they understand and maybe you don't, then you can ask them and they'll actually be able to tell you. Then you can share what what's happened to them and what's happened to you. We sometimes we have some parties and we get do cool things, and sometimes it's just we get to go play. It's good for people that have been at the hospital to have fun, because they might have not had fun for a very long time.
Team Jack has over 80 volunteers. They help to spread the word and support the staff and users of Jack's Den at the many varied events across the country. Keeping the troops organised is Team Jack charity champion Hazel McLinden. Hazel also turns her hand to grant fundraising and even selling tombola tickets at the local shopping centre.
I became known as Hazel 3 for a pound, and that was my war cry. Alison asked me to go with her to give out Jack sacks to celebrate what would have been Jack's 16th birthday. I wasn't sure how I would react to that. It was the cancer ward. These children in my head were extremely ill. Walking in there, it was a ray of sunshine. The smiles, the children, they were full of joy and laughter, and you would never have known they were ill. They were all very upbeat. They were very, very grateful for the gifts that we had given them, and that particularly struck home with me that that's the need for Jack's Den and Team Jack, that every single small thing is making these children's life just that wee bit easier, living through their illness.
Team Jack can only do their vital work thanks to the dedication of our kind-hearted supporters who have been baking, bagpacking, cycling, goal scoring, kilt walking, singing and zip sliding to raise money for Jack's Den. Keith Lyle and his wife Emma have supported Jack's Den ever since a friend of Emma's made them aware of the charity in September 2015.
I feel, and I think Emma feels as well, that there's not enough out there for children with these difficulties and what they're going through with cancer and leukaemia, and what Jack's done, and Alison is living up to the legacy of creating more places for these children.
We caught up with Keith on a training run at Cramond Village near their Edinburgh home.
I spoke to Alison and pledged that I would run 500 kilometres in aid of the late Jack Truman and helping set up funds for the new Jack's Den. Came October, I already hit the 500, I kept on running, and I've now ran 700 kilometres in a year, which I'm very happy with, and raised possibly about £700.
Emma might be content to let Keith bear the more physical exertions, but she has made her own sacrifices to help raise money for Jack's Den.
I first started doing it sober for October. Gave up drinking for a month, in actual fact then stopped drinking because of it, just to raise some money, as I was aware of Jack's cause, and I raised about £400.
You can fundraise and lend support in all sorts of ways. Team Jack, the Warriors and their families really do appreciate the difference it makes.
I feel really happy with what I've done, accomplished, and knowing that the money is going to a good cause and helping everything. I mean, you can do baking days, fun days, any type of fundraising at all.
So what's stopping you? Team Jack have some exciting plans for the future. First up is a move to a new Jack's Den with ground level accessibility and bespoke breakout areas designed with the little warriors and their families' needs in mind. Jack's mum Alison also hopes to make the satellite dens in Glenrothes and Aberdeen a more permanent fixture.
This year's a very, very exciting year for Team Jack. I think we're really focused on getting our new den up and running. We've got the keys, groundwork should be starting very soon. Groundwork should take 12 weeks, the inside should take about 6 weeks to do. So we're hoping the middle of May, all being well, if we can get enough funding. We're still short of about 140,000 at the moment. It's going to give us so many more opportunities to be able to reach so many more families. Hospital outreach, we're hoping to continue to develop our relations with the hospitals, Edinburgh, Glasgow and Aberdeen. We've built really strong foundations there, and it's just about building that now and developing these services further. We just recently appointed a Glenrothes Fife coordinator and an Aberdeen coordinator, and they are doing wonders for families in Aberdeen and Fife, and just giving them a wee bit of support and help and some social activities to pull them together. So that really, really exciting times, and hopefully we can just develop that even further. The impact that Jack has had on other people and other people's lives and on society as a whole, I think has just been tremendous, and I think he'll be sitting up there with that massive smile on his face just going, yeah, I'm quite happy with that.
Just to see a smile in between all the treatments is just amazing. I don't think that people realise when they're putting their hands in their pocket just how much they're helping create, and the memories they're making and the safe places they're allowing us to do. So yeah, just a massive thank you.
Unfortunately, before this all happened to me, I never really thought about childhood cancer. But when it does happen, sorry, that's your life changed forever. And obviously, I'm in a good situation. My daughter's in remission. Touch wood, it'll all be good and it'll never come back. But even still, it's always there. So yeah, the difference that people make is amazing, and just can't be grateful enough for the people that donate towards charities like Jack's Den to help.
I've obviously seen what happens and suffered the pain and went through it all, so I hope that it can be used to help others.
Never ever underestimate how a tiny, tiny wee act of either kindness or awareness or sharing of information or a pound or loose change or anything can make that massive difference to our charity. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you, thank you, thank you.